We got more clips from minicamp. Today we're going to be looking at Mac Jones and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is excused, so you won't see him in the clips. But before we watch Mac Jones work with the team, run through some drills and everything else, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're going hard in the paint. Looking at these rookies every single day this offseason, from rookie camp to OTAs to minicamp to training camp, everything in between, on top of your veterans, on top of the storylines, guys coming back from injuries, guys on new teams, everything else. Click that button. Stop missing out on what your players are doing at practice. So we're looking at Mac Jones today. He's under center for the Jaguars since Trevor Lawrence is out. He's excused. We have 2 minutes of clips. That being said, we're going to be able to see the other players as well. So we're going to see a lot of Jaguars today in this video. So we'll talk about this. We'll watch the clip, then run through it a few times, loop it, and keep talking ball. But there's Mac Jones right there under center. And we all know he's the backup here. We all know that. We all know the guy got excused for a reason because he's the guy. But there, Brian Thomas Jr. already. And if I catch more clips, he'll get his own video. But considering I got a ton of Mac Jones here, we're going to be looking at that and see where the ball's going. Was that Peterson right there? Catching the ball right there. There's Mac Jones. Next play. Stepping back. Ball's getting out there. He does have a pretty ball. Getting it downfield. Jones. 70 got a quick drop back. Did you see that on his feet? There we go. Looking solid. I'm watching everything too. There's old Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby showing up. Mac Jones talking to the coach. One thing I noticed when looking at this clip is, looks a lot like he's got a little old man mannerisms in him. I don't know how to say it. And I know 66. He moves laterally very well for his size. Another good pass downfield. The linemen with those quicks. Those are some quick linemen. Ball getting down there. Parker Washington had some moments last year. Big time receiver at Penn State with sticky hands, good in the slot. That's what he proved at Penn State. Very solid there. It looks like we got some Gabe Davis action. Very sudden. Gabe Davis has had a few good days of practice too with the Jaguars. We've seen that. Mac Jones slinging it. Looks like we're underwater here, but it's the lighting. And then I would just wanted to bring this back from OTAs because it's him having fun. It's him being more composed too. We're getting a good look at who he is. Getting a look at him. But watch this right here. Watch the step. I watched this when I took down. I was like, please let him be more athletic than me. Please let that happen. But it's just a half-second part of a clip, so I'm not taking that seriously. I'm just joking around. Him dropping back. And what I think about Mac Jones here, obviously he's the backup for the Jaguars. But if something does happen to Lawrence and things happen to players, you got a good backup. You got a guy with starter experience. And let's go back to what we looked at Alabama. And what we liked about him is he's got a fast mental processor. Takes in the scheme, takes in the pre-snap reads very well. A smart player. Gets the ball out fast and effectively. And that being said, to have a backup like that, learning your scheme with that type of play is good to go, especially once you got playmakers that you're building on the outside of the ball here with Brian Thomas Jr. and company. So if something happens to Trevor Lawrence, then you got a backup here that can step it up, who's got solid starter experience. And then when we look at his attributes, it looks like he's got the attributes to step in as a backup and help you win some games. And you're looking at his team. We're going to talk about Brian Thomas Jr. like we do all the time. I think he's the X factor for this offense. I think he's got the upside to be a top wide receiver in the league. And I think if he can tap into that, this offense is going to be humming. And I don't think it matters which one of these quarterbacks are in. Obviously, it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. But I think if he can really tap into that upside, and where is his upside at, guys? Where do you think that's at? His release is nasty. He's got 4.3 speed. He's got nasty ball skills. And then on top of that, for the size of just athleticism, that length and speed, he can break off routes. We're looking at Parker Washington, just going over his portfolio from Penn State. Very strong hands at the catch point. Good in the slot. Very dependable. You saw that in moments last year. He looked good last year in those moments when he got opportunity. Parker Washington is a player to pay attention to because he's got that upside in him. He's got a lot of grit. Pay attention to Cephus. I've been seeing a lot of clips, or some clips, not a lot, but of him making plays in OTAs. I do not see him here. Pay attention to him. He was an under-the-radar wide receiver in this deep wide receiver class. Maybe a training camp dandy here in the next few weeks once training camp fires up in July. Pay attention to Cephus. Pay attention to him because he is very explosive. He's a wide receiver that was on my radar as a late flyer to pay attention to. Pay attention to him. See how he gels with the team. See if he can catch some moments. Watch his battle with the depth chart. Pay attention to him. But I think the upside of this team is going to be ran through Brian Thomas Jr. And if he clicks, or if he clicks down the line, I think this offense is going to click down the line. And Trevor Lawrence wants to push the ball downfield. We see that in his advanced metrics. We see that with his deep ball attempts and his ADOT. And he needs weapons to help him excel with that. They brought in Gabe Davis. That's where he excelled in Buffalo. But Brian Thomas Jr., different level. That 4.3 speed, that nasty release, those hands, the quicks to create separation off the break. I think him paired with Trevor Lawrence is a match made in heaven. I think that is the perfect pair for him. That is the perfect quarterback for him, and I think he's a great wide receiver for him. Of course, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, those top wide receivers, it's perfect for any quarterback. But when you're looking at other wide receivers in this draft, other drafts, and you pair them with quarterbacks, he's got the right fit. For Lawrence, for Brian Thomas Jr., these guys are going to pair well with each other for what they want to do. And I just love watching this clip. I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny. It's good seeing the personality of players. And then watch this right there. I don't know, that little jog there. I don't know. But that's Mac Jones live and in the flesh. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.